Hello friends, in this video we are going to solve numericals based on the polar plot. Let us begin. So let's start with question number 1. So assume that the given g of s h of s is 1 upon st plus 1, for which you have to get the polar plot. Henceforth, now the question statement will be similar, that you have to get the polar plot. Only this g of s h of s will keep on changing. So every time, now I'm not going to write that statement that get a polar plot. I'll directly give g of s h of s and I'll start plotting it. So a very first step is to substitute s equal to j omega. So let us start with the solution. So once you substitute s equal to j omega, it will become g of j omega, h of j omega, and this will be equal to 1 divided by s is replaced with j omega, so it becomes j omega times t plus 1. As I said that you have to get only two things, that is magnitude and phase. So what will be its magnitude? Very simple. Magnitude of numerator upon magnitude of denominator. We have already learned in the last lecture that magnitude of 1 is 1 and magnitude of denominator will be under root of real part square plus imaginary part square. So what we have, this imaginary part as omega t, so it will be omega square t square plus 1 square, which is 1 itself. So this becomes the magnitude, right? And then when I have to calculate the phase angle, this phase angle is nothing but angle of numerator minus angle of denominator, which is j omega t plus 1. So you know that angle contribution by real constant is always 0 degree minus tan inverse of, it is imaginary part upon real part. Imaginary part is omega t, real part is 1. We did not to specify that. So finally I can write my phase angle to be minus tan inverse of omega t. So what is important to me is this magnitude and this phase angle. As I said that polar plot is nothing but the variation or a motion of gh with respect to omega when it is changed from 0 to infinity in gh plane. So our aim is to now make omega equal to 0, that is initial value. So at omega equal to 0, let us see what is the magnitude, what is the phase. So we can do this orally. Now you can imagine we have omega here, where if you substitute 0, it will become 0 square. So 0 square plus 1, it is 0, and 1 divided by root 1, so magnitude will become 1, that is unity. Whereas let us see what is phase angle. So phase is equal to, it is omega equal to 0, so it is minus tan inverse of 0 degree, and you know that tan inverse of 0 degree is 0 itself, so phase becomes 0 degree. So we have magnitude and phase variation for gh when omega equal to 0. Likewise, we can actually keep on increasing various values of omega, and at the end we want a final value, so omega will tend to infinity. Let us see what magnitude will become. So we have got the magnitude formula, which is nothing but this. If you substitute omega equal to infinity, denominator will become infinity, and anything divided by infinity is 0, so magnitude becomes 0. And let us see what phase will become. Now if you look at this omega is infinity, so it will become minus tan inverse of infinity, and you know that tan inverse of infinity is 90 degree, but because of the negative sign you can write omega equal to minus 90 degree. So you have the value of m, you have the value of phase for omega equal to 0 also, omega equal to infinity also. Let us see the gh plane and let us see the final polar plot. We know that this is a real part of gh, this is imaginary part of gh. Now look at the very first value, that is at omega equal to 0. What is the magnitude? Magnitude is 1. So this 1 is nothing but the length, and phase indicates on which axis or at which angle you need this magnitude. So you know that this is actually 0 degree, and if you want to plot magnitude 1, let me assume this length is magnitude 1. So this length is how much? It is magnitude 1. For example, I hope you understood. I'm going to remove this one and same one I will specify above. So this length is 1 basically, and it is lying on 0 degree. Now look at the next. The next magnitude is 0. When I say magnitude equal to 0, from the origin, if I say, it will be origin itself. So magnitude equal to 0 means it is origin itself. But look at the angle, it is minus 90 degree. And you know the fact, the minus 90 degree is somewhere over here. So we have 0 over here. So now I got 2 points, that is omega equal to 0 point, omega equal to infinity point. So let me mark them. So this point refers to omega equal to 0, that is nothing but the starting point of the polar plot. And this is omega is tending to infinity, that is nothing but the final point. Now the question is how to join these 2 points, because there are infinity ways by which you can join these points. But remember, you have to start from 1 and you have to always move clockwise. I repeat my statement, you have to always move clockwise. The polar plot goes always clockwise. So clockwise you have to go, and then you have to get at omega equal to infinity. Obviously, why the curve is coming here and why the curve is not going over here, okay, we can have the detailed discussion, but then it really takes unnecessary time. I'll tell you, in between for particular value of omega, if you see, you may get angle somewhere as minus 45 degree. So this minus 45 degree comes over here and you get certain magnitude also here. So that can be verified later by taking some intermediate values of omega also. So definitely you have to always remember that whenever you have been asked to join 2 points, you have to join those 2 points in polar plot in a clockwise direction only. So you can remember this way. So it's okay that even though it is not quite clear to you for a first problem, it's okay, we are going to solve the number of problems. So once you get the comfortable with this, even in the next video I'll give you shortcut for all the questions that I am solving right now. Okay, so let me start with question number 2 first. So question number 2 is this. So as I said that I'll give you direct g of s h of s value. So assume g of s into h of s is, it is 1 over, we have st1 plus 1 and then we have st2 plus 1. Suppose we have this form and let's say we have to give a polar plot for this. Then again let us follow the procedure. You have to first of all substitute s equal to j omega. Let's do that. So it becomes g of j omega h of j omega. This will become 1 over, what we have in the denominator is j omega times t1. As you can see, I am just replacing s, rest of the term I am keeping as it is. Then again replacing s with j omega t2 plus 1. Once we have this, then we can calculate magnitude and phase. So how do we calculate the magnitude? Very simple. The magnitude is actually numerator magnitude divided by denominator magnitude. So numerator magnitude is 1 itself, and let's see what happens at denominator. As you can see, in the denominator there are 2 complex quantities. So for that, you know that how to take a magnitude of this. It is under root of real part square plus imaginary part square. So the imaginary part is omega t1, so it is omega square t1 square plus 1, then multiplied by magnitude of the next quantity, which is nothing but omega square t2 square plus 1. I hope you understood how we have calculated m, that is magnitude. Let's calculate phase. So you know the fact that phase angle of numerator minus phase angle of denominator. This is the theory, and at the same time these 2 complex quantities are getting multiplied, so their respective angle gets added. Therefore it will be like this, that is angle of 1 minus angle of denominator, that is angle of, it is j omega t1 plus 1 plus angle of j omega t2 plus 1. So only for this problem I'm going in detail. Later on, whenever I'll come across such terms, I can directly write the angle, expecting that now you are understanding with that, or you are comfortable with the pattern. Okay, so angle of 1, that is angle of real quantity, is always 0 degree. So phase becomes minus of, so you can now write angle for this as tan inverse of imaginary part upon real part. Imaginary part is omega t1, real part is 1, need not to specify. Then minus plus becomes minus, that is I'm taking this negative sign inside the bracket, so it becomes minus tan inverse of omega t2. That's it. So these are the phase angles. So we got phase angle as well as magnitude. Now we have to substitute initial value and final value, omega equal to 0, omega equal to infinity, and that's it. We can go for the final polar plot. So let us substitute omega equal to 0 to get the initial point. So what m will become? So you have to solve this orally, very easy. The moment you substitute omega equal to 0 here, what we have been left over here, root 1. Over here also we get root 1. Root 1 into root 1 is 1. 1 upon 1 is 1. So magnitude becomes 1. What we have to get? Now we have to get something called as angle, that is phase. Let us see what is the phase. So if you look at the phase angle, so you have to refer this, the one which is I'm highlighting right now. Substitute omega equal to 0. So it will be minus tan inverse of 0 minus tan inverse of 0. But you know that tan inverse of 0 is 0 degree. Ultimately, the phase angle is 0 degree itself. So we got the initial value. Let us go for final value, that is omega tends to infinity. Let us see what magnitude we are supposed to get. The moment you substitute omega equal to infinity in the magnitudes formula or a magnitudes expression, you will see that the omega is present in the denominator. So denominator becomes infinity. Anything upon infinity will be 0. So magnitude becomes 0. Let us see what phase angle do you get. Look at this. Here omega is infinity. Here omega is infinity. So it is minus tan inverse of infinity minus tan inverse of infinity. So you know that generally tan inverse of infinity is 90 degree, but minus tan inverse of infinity can be considered as minus 90 degree. So it is minus 90 will be minus 180. So phase angle becomes minus 180 degree. So finally we have magnitude 0 and phase angle to be minus 180 degree, and magnitude 1 and phase angle 0 for omega equal to 0. Now we can actually have our polar plot. So for that we have to draw again a GH plane. So this is again GH plane. Start from m equal to 1 and phase equal to 0 degree. You know very well, in the last problem also it started with the same point, that is 0 degree and 1 as magnitude. Then let's see where we have to end up. So you know what, this is 0 degree, then this is minus 90 degree, and this is minus 180 degree. So we have to go to minus 180 degree. But when the angle is minus 180 degree, what is the magnitude? Magnitude is 0. So on this axis that I'm highlighting right now, the magnitude is 0. So this way. So you know what, as I said that you have to always start with omega equal to 0. Your polar plot starts from omega equal to 0 and ends at omega tends to infinity. So when these 2 points you need to join, you need to always join them in the clockwise direction only. So in a way what I'm doing is, I'm going to start with omega equal to 0 and I'm going to finish at omega tends to infinity. So just to show from where your polar plot had started, you can show such arrows. This arrow indicates from where to where your GH is moving, how your GH values are moving in GH plane, that you can show. I hope you understood this point. Okay, so student really get confused when I'm actually showing these 2 points. For example, these 2 points, why didn't I join this way, and what is the reason that I have joined this way? Then you have to remember that the ending phase is minus 180 degree. The ending phase is minus 180 degree. So your polar plot should come in the vicinity of 180 degree. That is minus 180 degree in this case. I hope you understood that. In the last problem also we had the same 2 points, if you remember. See, we had the same 2 points, but then I had to go up to the vicinity of minus 90 degree only. That's the reason why this was the starting point and this was the ending point, like this. So we had a flow like this. Right? So you need not to worry. As I said that we are going to solve so many questions. Okay. But before we proceed to the next question, we have a sub question for the question that we have solved just now. Let's get back to the question number 2. So in question number 2, as you can see that this polar plot is crossing minus 90 degree. Look at this. You can notice something, that this polar plot is crossing minus 90 degree. If it is crossing the minus 90 degree, let us say I want to identify at which omega value it is crossing minus 90 degree. I hope you got my point. So what I have to identify is, at this point, what is the value of omega? Because what I know about this point is the phase angle. How much is the phase angle? Minus 90 degree. What I don't know about this point, I don't know about this 2 point, that is, what is the value of omega? Also, what is the length from the origin? So what is the length from the origin is a magnitude itself. So what I don't know is two things over here. I don't know what is the magnitude. I don't know what is the operating frequency. What I just know about these 2 points or this one point is the phase angle is equal to minus 90 degree. So what I'm actually interested to know two things. That is, I want to know at that point what is the value of omega, and at that point what is the length of magnitude. I hope you understood my question. So this is a sub question that can be asked in the GATE exam. So you have to be very attentive when I'm explaining you this thing. Pay attention. Since I know what is the phase angle, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually write this formula to the next slide. So what is the phase? Phase is equal to minus tan inverse of omega t1 minus tan inverse of omega t2. Let's write. So the phase angle expression that we have is minus tan inverse of omega t1 minus tan inverse of omega t2. We know that at that particular point, that is at intersection point, phi is equal to how much? Minus 90 degree. Now imagine if I actually substitute the value of phi in the above expression, it is possible for me to get the value of omega. Let's see how. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to substitute this in the above expression. So what I can write is minus 90 degree is equal to minus of tan inverse of omega t1 minus tan inverse of omega t2. In fact, what I can do is I can just take this negative sign out and I can write tan inverse of omega t1 plus tan inverse of omega t2. So here I can cancel this negative sign. So you should understand and you should know the formula that tan inverse of A plus tan inverse of B is tan inverse of A plus B divided by 1 minus AB. Let me write that formula. So for your reference, please write this formula in your notebook also. Tan inverse of A plus tan inverse of B. Whenever you have this, you can write it like this. It is actually tan inverse of A plus B divided by 1 minus AB. What is A and B? A and B are nothing but omega t1 and omega t2 here. So let us apply the formula. So tan inverse of omega t1, tan inverse of omega t2 accordingly can be written as tan inverse of, let us write the addition of first, that is omega t1 plus omega t2 divided by 1 minus AB, that is omega square t1 t2, and this is simply equal to how much? 90 degree, because on the left hand side we had 90 degree. Yes or no? Also, you should know the fact that when it is tan inverse of something equal to 90 degree, we know the fact that tan inverse of infinity is 90 degree. Yes or no? So what we know is, since tan inverse of infinity is 90 degree, I can declare that this ratio is infinity. But then when this ratio will become infinity, mathematically you can think when the denominator becomes 0. So if this ratio is infinity, let me consider my denominator to be equal to 0. So I can consider that it is 1 minus omega square t1 t2 equal to what? 0. In that case, I can say that omega square t1 t2 equal to 1, or I can say omega square equal to 1 upon t1 t2, or I can in fact say omega equal to 1 upon under root of t1 t2. That's it. If you remember, my aim is to find omega. My aim was to find the value of omega. At which point? At intersection point. At intersection point, what was the value of phase? The value of phase was 90 degree. In fact, it was minus 90 degree. So what I did, I took the expression of phase. I have substituted my phase angle is minus 90 degree. The only one thing which was unknown, that is omega. So I have calculated omega. Yes, here unfortunately, since I don't know the values of t1, t2, which would be eventually in the exam could be some numerical value, then I'll get some exact numerical value of omega. Since I don't know what are time constants like t1, t2, I'm getting my omega in terms of time constants only. I hope you understood my point. If you remember, our aim is not just to find omega, we have to also find the magnitude also. Look at this. At this intersection point, I had only an idea for phase angle, which is minus 90 degree. At this point, I wanted to know what is the value of omega, and also I wanted to know the value of m. So what I know is what is the value of omega. Once I know what is the value of omega, what I can do, I can use now this magnitude expression. Look at this. I can use this magnitude expression and I can substitute the value of omega there, and now I'll get the exact magnitude also, isn't it? So let us write this magnitude information. What is the magnitude information? Pay attention. Magnitude is equal to, it is 1 over under root of, so it was omega square t1 square plus 1 multiplied by under root of omega square t2 square plus 1. This was the value of magnitude, correct? So this was the expression for magnitude. In fact, now we know the value of omega at intersection point. So what is the value of omega? So the value of omega is 1 over under root of t1 t2. What I need to do, I have to substitute this value in the above magnitude expression. So I'll get the magnitude at that intersection point, because this omega is not normal omega. This omega is the value of omega at that particular intersection point where my polar plot was crossing minus 90 degree. Please don't forget that. So now I'll get the magnitude, that is 1 over. So it is under root of, now imagine it is omega square. If it is omega square, so omega is 1 upon under root of t1 t2. So it will simply become 1 upon t1 t2, isn't it? And then we have multiplied by t1 square plus 1. In the second root, similarly, let us substitute omega square as 1 upon t1 t2. But then we have t2 square here plus 1. I hope you understood this. Very easy. What I can do over here, I can cancel t1 with t1 square. I can cancel t2 with t2 square. And now whatever remaining, let me write it. Magnitude equal to 1 over. See what we have in the root, inside the root. You know, it is t1 by t2 plus 1. So when it is t1 by t2 plus 1, I can just cross multiply and I can write t1 plus t2 by 2. That is t2. And over here in the second, I have t2 by t1. So I can write again t2 plus t1 divided by t1, like this. Since you are multiplying this, look at the numerator. Numerator has the same term, that is under root of t1 plus t2. In the next root also we have under root of t2 plus t1, which can be considered as t1 plus t2. So in the denominator, what I can get is t1 plus t2, t1 plus t2. And you know what? This under root t1 and under root t1 and t2, we can shift it upward. That is, we can write under root of t1 under root of t2. And now this can be considered as the magnitude of m, or the value of m at intersection point. So what I have understood, that we had this polar plot which started with 0 degree, which ended with minus 180 degree, and during its journey it crossed minus 90 degree phase. So you knew that here omega value was 0. At the end, omega value was infinity. So as you could see that omega was increasing. So at this intersection point, I have calculated what is the value of omega. Also, I have calculated what is the value of magnitude. That is nothing but this length. So this length is nothing but under root of t1 t2 divided by t1 plus t2. I hope you understood this. Let us start with the next question. So in the next question, we have GH, which is equal to 1 upon S into ST plus 1. So slowly I'm going to enhance the complexity also. Let us substitute S equal to j omega, which will give me g of j omega h of j omega, which is equal to 1 upon j omega times j omega t plus 1. Then let us calculate the magnitude. In the numerator we have 1, so magnitude remains 1. In the denominator we have j omega. You know that the magnitude of j omega is omega itself. You know very well how to calculate it. I'm sure you have watched the previous videos. Then the magnitude of j omega t plus 1 will be under root of omega square t square plus 1. Done. We have done with the magnitude. Let us calculate the phase. So it is angle of 1 minus angle of remaining, that is, let us say angle of 1 minus angle of denominator, and angle of denominator will be angle of j omega plus angle of j omega t plus 1. So let me write this. Angle of real quantity is always 0 degree minus angle of j omega is always 90 degree. We have also seen that, plus it is tan inverse of imaginary part upon real part. So it is omega t itself. So what we have, the final phase angle, it is minus 90 degree minus tan inverse of minus omega t, or not minus omega t but omega t itself. This is the final phase value. This is the final magnitude value. Since I know the magnitude, since I know the phase, what I need to do? Only one thing, that I have to substitute omega equal to 0, omega equal to infinity. Let's do that. So let us substitute omega equal to 0 first. When I substitute omega equal to 0, let us calculate it orally. Magnitude. Since the denominator becomes 0, magnitude becomes infinity. Secondly, what is the value of phase? Let's look at that. So phase value is minus 90 degree minus tan inverse of omega t. But since the omega has become 0, tan inverse of 0 is 0. So what is remaining is only constant, that is minus 90 degree. That's it. Then let us calculate for omega is tending to infinity. That is the final value. What m will become? Since omega value is infinity, in the denominator we get infinity. Anything upon infinity will be 0. Magnitude becomes 0. Let us see what phase angle you get. Look at this. It is minus 90 minus tan inverse of omega. Since tan inverse of omega, that is tan inverse of infinity, is again 90. So minus 90 minus 90 will become minus 180. So minus 180 degree is the final angle. Since I know initial values of magnitude phase, final values of magnitude phase, that is enough for me to go for a polar plot. Let's draw a GH plane again. Look at omega equal to 0. What is the value at omega equal to 0? The value of m is infinity. At which angle? At minus 90 degree angle. At minus 90 degree angle, you can imagine the magnitude is infinity. Let me tell you, when the magnitude is infinity, somewhere over here you can see. Because you know what? It is really not possible for us to even show the exact value of magnitude to be infinity. But somewhere from minus 90 degree, you can say the magnitude is infinity. The magnitude is infinity. Next, then you have to substitute magnitude equal to 0 at minus 180 degree. Now where is minus 180 degree? Come on, minus 180 degree, it's somewhere over here. Minus 180 degree is somewhere over here, right? Now from this infinity, you have to travel to 180 degree. From this minus 90 degree, you have to travel to minus 180 degree. So let me say that I'm starting somewhere over here, that is the magnitude is infinity, and at it is angle to be minus 90 degree, it is going to minus 180 degree at magnitude to be 0. So maybe this is the first point and this is the end point. This is the end point. And from here you have to join this, and this arrow indicates the flow of polar plot, isn't it? So this is how you should go for the polar plot. So this starting point is nothing but omega equal to 0, and this ending point is actually omega is tending to infinity. That is nothing but the final point. This is how you should plot the given polar plot. I'm sure you understood this. Let's move to the next question. So question number 4 is GH is equal to, it is 1 over ST1 plus 1 multiplied by ST2 plus 1 multiplied by ST3 plus 1. So again, by substituting S equal to J omega, it will become G of J omega H of J omega. Please look after this. I'm writing GH. It means it is not exactly GH. It is G of S into H of S. Okay. I'm just writing it in shortcuts. Okay. Just to save time. It is 1 over. So again, in the denominator, wherever there is S, replace with J omega. It will become J omega times T1 plus 1 multiplied by J omega times T2 plus 1. Then again J omega T3 plus 1. That's it. Fine. Now it is ready. So let us write the magnitude directly. Now you understand magnitude very well. So I'm not going to explain you how to calculate the magnitude. So numerator magnitude is 1 divided by magnitude of every bracket over here. That is under root of real part square, imaginary part square. It is omega square T1 square plus 1. Then under root of omega square T2 square plus 1 multiplied by under root of omega square T3 square plus 1. I'm sure you understood this. Next, what I have to get? The phase angle. So phase angle, we know that again tan inverse of numerator angle minus tan inverse of denominator angle. So let me assume, see, it is a real quantity 1, so definitely angle contribution will be equal to 0. Since it is 0, need not to write 0, I can directly write minus tan inverse of, now all denominator angles I can write tan inverse of omega t1 minus tan inverse of omega t2 minus tan inverse of omega t3, and we are done. What needs to be calculated? Again, omega equal to 0 point, what magnitude phase you will get? Let us see. So on omega equal to 0, what magnitude you will get? The moment you substitute omega equal to 0, so every term will give you root 1, root 1, root 1. So ultimately magnitude is 1 itself. What is the value of phase? Very simple, 0 degree. Why? Because omega equal to 0 and each and every term is minus tan inverse of omega and something. Next, omega is tending to infinity. Let us see what is the magnitude. Okay, so when omega is infinity, denominator becomes infinity, magnitude will become 0 and phase will become, now every omega over here is what? It is infinity, and tan inverse of infinity is 90 degree. So it is minus 90, minus 90, minus 90. Obviously it will become minus 270 degree. Very simple. Now let me draw a GH plane here. So let me show you the initial angle, which is 0 degree, and you should know this is minus 90 degree, this is minus 270 degree. Okay, now look at the first value, which is magnitude 1 and angle is 0. Magnitude 1, magnitude 1 and angle is 0. Fine. Then the magnitude is 0 and angle is minus 270 degree. So you have to come to this vicinity of minus 270 degree. Okay, so this is nothing but magnitude equal to 0. Now let's draw the plot. So from here, this is a starting point, that is as omega equal to 0. You know that this is basically an ending point, that is omega is tending to infinity. Fine. Now if you have still confusion how to join these 2 points, you did not to worry. Just pay attention to what I say. Look at what is the final angle, minus 270 degree. And what is the final value? 0. You don't take 0. You have some error like 0 0.01, 0 0.02, something like that. Imagine that you have to plot 0 0.02 on minus 270 degree. So it will be somewhere over here. It will be somewhere over here. So just try to locate that point. Try to locate that point. Okay. Try to come to that point, but don't make error. Directly go to 0. See, this is how you can save yourself now. I hope you understood that. Okay, so we have made a mistake. What is a mistake, guys? See, the mistake is, let me tell you, first of all, this is not minus 270 degree. Okay, so what is that? It is minus 180 degree. And what is this? Come on, this is minus 270 degree. So definitely what mistake we have done, I'm sure you understood that. Okay, with this mistake, you will also understand what needs to be done, and you have to be very, very careful while plotting this kind of plots. Okay, so let me rough what we have drawn. So let's do it again. No worries. Okay, so magnitude is equal to 1 at 0 degree, that we have already plotted. Next, what I want angle to be minus 270 degree. So we know that minus 270 degrees over here, to which the magnitude is 0. Again the same point, again the same point. Again, definitely you will have some confusions. Need not to worry, as I said that. Since you want 0, you don't take 0. As I said, you just imagine some error over here, like, offset over here. Like, let's say this is 0.02. Imagine that now you have to join 0.02 with the starting point. Okay, so this is the first point. Let's say this is the second point you want to join. But then you know that you cannot go this way, because if you move this way, you are moving anti-clockwise. As I said, while going for polar plot, you have to go compulsory clockwise only. So in clockwise direction when you go, you will get this kind of curve. See, I'm moving towards 0.02. So please don't join 0.02, because it is just for our reference. Okay, here only you have to come. So as you can see, we have got this kind of polar plot. I'm sure you have understood this. Okay, so let me rough unnecessary things here. So like we have solved for the previous question, as you can see, this polar plot is crossing minus 90 degree also, and it is crossing minus 180 degree also. So now I can actually find out, by using the same logic. As you can see, omega equal to 0 point, and this is omega tending to infinity. And as soon as you are progressing, you are increasing the value of omega. So what must be the value of omega when phase is equal to 90 degree? So regarding this intersection point where your polar plot is crossing minus 90 degree, I'm interested to know what is the value of omega. And I'm sure you must have figured it out that I'm also interested in the magnitude. So I'm interested in magnitude also. Similarly, you are interested to see on this intersection point, that is at minus 180 degree. You have only one information, phase angle equal to minus 180 degree. So at which value of omega this is happening? Also, you can also calculate what is the magnitude. Let me tell you, to find the stability and everything, you should be capable to find omega also. You should be capable to find how to find m also, because it has got a very standard procedure. It's a very standard procedure. What is the standard procedure? What you know? Phase angle. From the phase angle, use the phase expression. Phase expression means this. Use the phase expression, substitute the value of phase. For example, when I'm going for minus 90 degree, substitute phase value equal to minus 90 degree, get the value of omega. Substitute that omega value in the expression for m. And once you know the value of omega, get the value of that magnitude at that particular omega. I hope you understood that. And same you have to do for even minus 180 degree also, because it is having two intersection points. So we have to find omega twice as well as magnitude also twice. So let us try to figure out the value of omega when the intersection point is minus 90 degree. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so before we go to the next page or next slide, I would request you to pause the video and copy the magnitude as well as phase expression for your reference. Copy magnitude and phase expression for your reference, so that when we go to the next page, you will have the reference. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to take care of both the points. That is point number one, that is first intersection point, and the second intersection point. So let me start with the first intersection point where it is minus 90 degree, where my polar plot is crossing minus 90 degree. Let me go for it. So I'm talking about the first intersection point. So let me write the final phase expression that we had is minus tan inverse of omega t1 minus tan inverse of omega t2 minus tan inverse of omega t3. Obviously, what we have, the formula for tan inverse of a plus tan inverse of b. Now there are, a, b, c. So don't worry. First of all, what I can do is I can first of all take this negative sign out. And once I do that, let's say over here only I have done that. Suppose if I take this negative sign out, I can just make it plus. I can solve for this. That is, considering this as tan inverse of a plus tan inverse of b. And later on, I can club with the third part. So you know what? Clubbing tan inverse of omega t1 plus tan inverse of omega t2, it's something that we have already done in the previous sum. So I can actually copy. And in fact, you know that tan inverse of a plus tan inverse of b is tan inverse of a plus b whole divided by 1 minus ab. So this, when I'm saying whole divided by, it is a part of theta only. Okay. So after clubbing these two, what am I supposed to get is tan inverse of a plus b, which is nothing but omega t1 plus omega t2 divided by 1 minus ab. So it is 1 minus omega square t1 t2. So plus it is tan inverse of omega t3. Now considering this one as the another expression for tan inverse of a plus tan inverse of b, I can this club together. So now phase angle will become minus of, it is simply tan inverse of. So again it is a plus b. So it is omega t1 plus omega t2 divided by 1 minus omega square t1 t2. This is a plus b, which is omega t3 whole divided by 1 minus a into b. So let me write a again, omega t1 plus omega t2 whole divided by 1 minus omega square t1 t2 multiplied by omega t3. Yes or no? Now tell me, when I'm saying for the first intersection point, what is the value of phase? It is minus 90 degree. So let me substitute. This phase is nothing but minus 90 degree. So this negative negative will get cancelled. And once we cancel, come on, you know that tan inverse of infinity is 90 degree. So when I'm saying this whole value to be infinity, this whole value if happens to be infinity, it is possible only when the denominator is 0. Only when the denominator is 0. So I can consider this denominator to be equated to 0, isn't it? So let me write it. So when I equate, let us say to 0, that is denominator to 0, you know what? This negative part I can shift to right hand side, okay? That is, I can write finally, this 1 is equal to omega t1 plus omega t2 divided by 1 minus omega square t1 t2 multiplied by omega t3. I hope you understood that point. What I have done, I have equated my denominator to 0. But once I equate my denominator to 0, okay, this negative part gets shifted to right hand side. So 1 becomes equal to this expression. So let me take this omega inside. Meanwhile, I can shift my denominator to left hand side. So what do I get is 1 minus omega square t1 t2, which is equal to, let me take this omega t3 inside because it is getting multiplied, so it will become omega square t1 t3 plus omega square t2 t3. So what I can do, since I'm interested to calculate omega, let me take all omega terms together. So what I'm going to do, this negative part, let's say, get shifted to right, so it will become positive and omega square will be the common term. So you will find the final expression as 1 equal to, if I take omega square out, it will be, t1 plus t2. I'm sorry, it is t1 t2. So let me rough this. T1 t2 plus t2 t3 plus t1 t3. And finally, omega square can be written as 1 over t1 t2 plus t2 t3 plus t1 t3. And when I square root on both the sides, omega will be equal to 1 over under root of the same thing, which is t1 t2 plus t2 t3 plus t1 t3. So what I know about the first intersection point is the value of omega where my polar plot is crossing minus 90 degree. Now if I really substitute this omega value in the magnitude expression, then I'll also get the magnitude present at minus 90 degree. But obviously it is really not feasible to substitute such omega value and to calculate magnitude value. Okay, it is just that you should know the procedure. So in case, so when T1, T2, T3 values are numerically known to you, it will be possible to substitute such value and to get the magnitude at that intersection point. So I'm sure now you have understood this. So let's try for the second intersection point. That second intersection point where phase is equal to minus 180 degree. Let's try this. So let me write the final expression that I had. It is, phase is equal to minus tan inverse of omega t1 minus tan inverse of omega t2 minus tan inverse of omega t3. But you know what? This phase value is known to me, which is minus 180 degree. And thereafter, you know that it is negative of tan inverse of omega t1 plus tan inverse of omega t2 plus tan inverse of omega t3. And this is something that we have already come up with the final answer for this. I mean, final solution for this. So this negative negative will get cancelled. So if you remember, it was tan inverse of, so we had some numerator value which is omega t1 plus omega t2 upon 1 minus omega square t1 t2 plus omega t3 whole divided by, we had some denominator like 1 minus omega t1 plus omega t2 divided by 1 minus omega square t1 t2, and this is multiplied by omega t3. And imagine now this is equal to what? 180 degree. So you should know the fact that tan inverse of 0 is 180 degree. So you can imagine this complete ratio. This complete ratio, if I want to assume, as 0, I will consider numerator value equal to 0. That is feasible for me. So let me consider this numerator value equal to 0. So let me consider this numerator value equal to what? 0. If I do that, what is going to happen? Let me see. So what possibly I can do, I can just take some LCM here first and then I equate it to 0. So let me do that. So pay attention, it is omega t1. I'm copying the first term as it is plus omega t2, the second term. And imagine this bracket is getting multiplied with this omega t3. So it will become plus omega t3 minus omega square into omega will become omega cube. So it is, omega cube multiplied by t1, t2, t3. T1, T2, T3. And this whole is equated to what? This whole equated to 0. Or I can say, if I take omega out, it will be T1 plus T2 plus T3. And rest, I'm shifting it to right hand side, which is omega cube times T1, T2, T3. This omega, it becomes omega square. So finally, I have the value of omega square, which is equal to T1 plus T2 plus T3 whole divided by T1, T2, T3. And if I take square root on both the sides, I'll get under root of T1 plus T2 plus T3 whole divided by T1, T2, T3. So this is how you should get the value of omega. If this omega, if I substitute in the magnitude expression, then I'll get what is the magnitude present at that second intersection point, that is when my polar plot is crossing minus 180 degree. I'm sure you have understood this. So let's move to the next question. So the next question is, it is 1 over s square st1 plus 1 multiplied by st2 plus 1. Let me assume this is my gh, to which now again I'm going to substitute s equal to j omega. So my g of j omega, h of j omega will become 1 over s square will become j omega square. In the bracket we have j omega times t1 plus 1. Then in the second bracket we have j omega t2 plus 1. Fine. Then the magnitude will become, it is 1 over, you know very well, j omega square's magnitude is omega square itself. Then it is under root of omega square t1 square plus 1 under root of omega square t2 square plus 1. And the phase angle can be given as, that again in the numerator what we have is 1 and the real quantity gives you no angle, or the contribution for real value is always 0 degree, and it is minus of denominator angle. So naturally we will get this negative sign and we will get, angles of this time j omega square plus angle of j omega t1 plus 1 plus angle of j omega t2 plus 1. So phase angle equal to, let us take this negative sign inside. You know that angle of j omega to the power n, we have learned that it is n at an angle of j omega. An angle of j omega is always 90 degree. So it is n into 90 degree. So in this case, n value is equal to 2. So I can write it is minus 180 degree minus tan inverse of imaginary part is omega t1, real part is 1, did not to write, minus tan inverse of omega t2 by 1, of course. So this is the final phase value. This is the final magnitude value. Fine. Since we have magnitude and phase value, let us substitute omega equal to 0, omega equal to infinity. So when we substitute omega equal to 0, let me see. Omega equal to 0, what magnitude will be? Since omega equal to 0, the denominator will become 0 and the ratio will become infinity. So magnitude is infinity, isn't it? And let us check the phase angle. So it is, tan inverse of 0, tan inverse of 0 here. So tan inverse of 0 is 0. So what is remaining is only constant part, which is minus 180 degree. That's it. Let us go for omega is tending to infinity. So when omega is tending to infinity, magnitude will obviously become 0. And look at this. This omega value is what it is? Infinity. This omega is also infinity. And tan inverse of infinity is what? It is minus 90. So what phase angle will become? Look at this. Phase angle becomes minus 180, minus 90, minus 90. And minus 90 is what? Come on. It is minus 180. And minus 180 minus 180 is what? Come on. It is minus 360 degree. Isn't it? And obviously that 360 degree or minus 360 degree is 0 degree itself. Let me write the angles over here. This is 0 degree. This is minus 90 degree. This is minus 180 degree. This is minus 270 degree. And obviously this is minus 360 degree. So it is one and the same thing. 0 degree or minus 360 degree, it's one and the same thing. So whenever you have some doubts like where to plot the exact angle, add 360 to it. So minus 360 plus 360 will become what? It is 0 degree only, right? So at minus 180 degree, what is the amplitude? Why I'm asking for minus 180 degree? Because the initial value is having phase equal to minus 180 degree. Magnitude is infinity. So you have to take somewhere over here. Magnitude is infinity. And where it is going to? It is going for minus 360 degree. Minus 360 degree. And what is the magnitude? It is 0. So I told you, whenever you have 2 points. So this is the first point. This is the second point. So second point, you can take some offset on the same angle. Same angle means minus 360 degree. So somewhere over here. So aim as if this is first point and this is second point and try to join them in clockwise direction. So in a way I can go clockwise, but you don't have to go to second reference. You have to go to over at the last point. So that's it. This is the final polar plot. I'm sure now you have understood this. Okay, so over here also we have an intersection point. So this polar plot is crossing minus 270 degree. Again we are interested to find what is the value of omega. Again you have to follow the same procedure. Take this phase as an expression. You can club these two, tan inverse of minus a, tan inverse of minus b, club it together. Try to get the value of omega. Obviously you will not get some numerical value, but you will get your omega in terms of t1 t2. So what you can do is you can write this way, that is intersection point minus 180 degree. So you'll have to take care of this. So now the phase angle expression is minus 180 degree minus tan inverse of omega t1 minus tan inverse of omega t2, and this is equal to minus 180 degree this time. So all this negative angle will cancel each other, isn't it? And when you will solve this, you will get the value of omega to be 1 upon under root of t1 t2. So now for that intersection point, you have the value of final omega. If you substitute that omega in the magnitude expression, then the respective magnitude will be equal to t1 t2 under root of t1 t2 whole divided by t1 plus t2. So this is for your cross check thing I have given. You can verify this from referring the previous that we have solved so far. So we can take the last problem now. So consider your GH as 1 upon S into ST1 plus 1 multiplied by ST2 plus 1, and again substitute S equal to j omega. You will get G of j omega, H of j omega as what? It is 1 over j omega, then it is j omega t1 plus 1, j omega t2 plus 1, then obviously the magnitude will be, it is 1 over magnitude of j omega is omega under root of omega square t1 square plus 1, then under root of omega square t2 square plus 1, and the phase angle will be minus 90 degree minus tan inverse of omega t1. Now I'm writing it directly, assuming now you understood it very well. So now I'm leaving this question up to you. You have to take this as a homework. You have to take this as a homework. And for that purpose, what I'll actually do for verification purpose, whether you did it correct or not, I'm just giving you the final polar plot directly. Okay, at your end, I want you people to solve this, because ultimately if I keep on solving each and every problem, then you won't be able to solve it yourself. So now it is time to test yourself whether you have understood this or not. Fine. Obviously there are many more problems we are going to discuss on polar plot. Also, I'm going to give you the shortcuts on this. Okay, you don't have really so much time to waste on every problem. Okay, time is always money in case of GATE examination, I keep saying that. So I'll give you even shortcuts for all these problems also, so not to worry. So let me just give you the final solution for this. So what I'm giving over here is the final solution. So this kind of polar plot you must get. So let me tell you, at omega equal to 0, magnitude is infinity and the phase angle is minus 90 degree, and at omega tends to infinity, magnitude is 0 and phase angle came out to be minus 270 degree. So these are the values you need to cross check. Also, as you can see, there is intersection point in this case also, where it is crossing minus 90 degree, so whenever it is crossing minus 90 degree, we can find the intersection point. So at this point I can find omega also, and I can find magnitude also. So for that also I'm providing both the answers, that is for omega also, magnitude also. You have to cross verify this. Remember, the magnitude is nothing but the length from the origin. Okay, so let me give you the value of final omega, which is nothing but 1 upon under root of t1 t2, and the value of m also you can cross check, which is m equal to t1 t2 whole divided by t1 plus t2. So I would request you to solve this problem your own. You have the final values to be cross checked. Thank you so much.